I've been a blacksmith armorer for over 30 years. Pirates of the Caribbean, Zorro, Blade. I've created weapons for over 200 feature films. This is Man-at-Arms. I grew up with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and have been a fan of Kevin Eastman's work for years. When I set up my booth at Comic-Con around 2002, I met Kevin and was able to hang out with him. It was a total cowabunga experience. So I touched base with Kevin, drew up my designs of what I thought Raphael's Sais would look like, and sent him some drawings and got his approval. So that was pretty bitchin'. This is chromoly steel, 4130 steel, that came from leftovers from very expensive movie equipment. It's a little bit lower carbon than I normally use, but it gives it the resilience for flexing, for disarming the weapons. I've taken the hot metal out of the forge at about 1500 degrees and I'm smashing it, making it flat in a wedge shape. I'm drawing it out. It's a technical term for blacksmithing. Here's the difference with the block of steel. Before I shape it up under the hammer, you can see how much it draws out, how much it grows. What I'm doing here with these pieces, I'm making two match pairs of Sais out of a block of steel. This is forged bladesmith here, and it's all forged to shape to dispel the rumors that I'm not a blacksmith and some of the other YouTube things. So now back to the crossguard. Again, a round block of steel that I'm going to form up to these long double-bladed edges, and then I'll hammer them around the horn of the anvil. The hammer I'm using here is a French-made cross-peen, straight-peen hammer that came from the Kenneth Lynch collection. Kenneth Lynch in the 1920s or 30s rebuilt the Statue of Liberty, and this hammer came from his collection of tools that may have been used to rebuild the Statue of Liberty. It's kind of a fun piece. It should be in a museum, but I use it daily. I got them rough forged, ready for the grinding. So this is just a block of steel that I'm going to use for the pommel or the back end of the Sais. But I started off with a square cube and I've hammered the corners down, and it's a red hot 20-side die. Using belt grinder now to remove the bark or scale on the outside of the blade and refine it and get the profiles in. I build aluminum prop swords for a living. These are not aluminum props. This is a properly forged deadly weapon. The hilt is on the vertical milling machine, and I'm milling the slot for the tang. My outside blades are offset, going off that angle. Everything I work with has to be done by eye. I get a call from the people on the new Thor movie, and I did 30 swords, and they go, we need the computer files to recreate the swords. And I said, there are no computer files. I hit it with a hammer. And they're like, no way, there's 30 of them, they're the same. Yeah, that's what I do. I'm drilling a F-drill hole in the 20-sided die or pommel and then tapping this hole with a 5/16 18 thread to correspond with the tang thread. I have about 6 belt grinders set up with different contact wheels. Each one of my machines is set up with a different application. Just going to grind in the beveled edges and just refine everything again. I like to call this machine the death machine. This is actually the heavy-duty buffer. It goes at about 3,600 RPM. I have a 14-inch buffing wheel on there, so the surface contact speed is going pretty phenomenally fast. I have the power hammers, I have milling machines, I have abrasive grinders. This is the most dangerous piece of equipment in my shop. I'm using a fairly high carbon steel, so I'm bringing it up to 1550 degrees to the critical temperature where it's non-magnetic, and I quench it in oil to harden it. This is another death machine. This is a buffing wheel. It's not quite as fast as the other one, but it is 5 horsepower. It would be equivalent to me arm wrestling with 5 Clydesdales. I'm using a high-density plastic, and this is going to be the grip. I also use this plastic for making mallets and hammers, so it's super strong and very durable. I'm now covering the grips on Raphael's Sais with the leather strips. All in all, I'm pretty pleased with these, and I think they'll kick ass. I think Raphael would be a much better badass with these Sais. Thanks for watching Man-at-Arms. Be sure to subscribe. Tell me in the comments what weapon you'd like to see next.